Hello, and welcome to Real Talk with Rachel. Today I'm talking about who I speak for when I speak about my experience. Sometimes when I happen upon reviews of books, I notice this trend of people saying, well, that was not my experience with fill in the blank. Depression, anxiety, disordered eating, autism, ADHD, you name it. And I always want to say, is anyone who deals with depression, anxiety, disordered eating, autism, ADHD, you name it, the same? Do they all have the same experience? The answer is a resounding no, because we're all different, which means we all experience the same diagnoses and challenges in different ways. Recently, I was reading a middle grade story about a girl dealing with depression. The girl's depression made her want to sleep all the time. It made her angry. It made her lash out in very noticeable ways. I found myself thinking, wow, this is not how I experience depression. My depression thrives on overactivity. It makes it very hard to sleep, almost in a manic way. It pushes me and pushes me and pushes me until I find myself empty and numb and struggling to feel anything at all. It makes me angry at myself, not other people. This character and I are two different people. We experience depression in different ways. There are millions of people living with clinical depression. They experience that clinical depression in millions of different ways. Some people can't get out of bed. Some people can't control their anger. Some people fall hard into their routines because if they stop doing them, the world will spin out of control. One person does not speak for all people. Our experiences share similarities, of course, but every situation also has an anomaly. It has people in the minority who experience things in a very different way. I don't know many people whose depression makes them more active. Mine does. That doesn't mean it's not depression. It doesn't invalidate my experience. It just means I'm a different person. When I write about anxiety or depression or sensory overload or OCD or growing up economically disadvantaged, I'm writing from my own experience, which is, without a doubt, not everyone's same experience. Part of the problem with the thought, that's not how depression works, is that TV and movies and books often rely on the overwhelming majority of experience, which sometimes leans very close to stereotypes, instead of looking for the outliers and portraying something different. People have a solid idea of what it's supposed to look like, which sometimes even makes them misjudge their own experience. For a long time, I said, this is not depression. I'm tired all the time, yes, but I can't help but get out of bed. I can't stay in bed like they do in all the movies. It took an official diagnosis to solidify the truth in my mind. We can't look for one person to speak to every experience. That's not how these things work. So am I the spokesperson for all people with my diagnoses? No, I can't possibly be, and I don't want to be. I want to hear and read about every experience that exists, because that helps me understand myself and the world better. I want to make space for experiences that aren't exactly like mine, because the more we learn about the way things like depression and anxiety and OCD work, and the more voices we have sharing their personal, very different experiences with poverty and exclusion and trauma, the more we understand about our fellow human beings, and the more we remind others that they matter. We all matter, and all our stories matter. Also, there's a magical multiplication effect that stories have. The more diverse stories we hear, the more comfortable we'll all feel with sharing our own personal experience with fill in the blank. And the braver we'll be when considering whether or not to do so. There's a collective courage in listening to and telling stories. I don't expect anyone to be the spokesperson for me, because my voice and my experience belong to me, not to anyone else. And I hope no one ever expects me to be the spokesperson for them, because I'm a little weird and unique, and I'm okay with that. Because we're all a little weird and unique. That's what makes the world so incredibly interesting. Don't expect my experience to be yours, and I won't expect yours to be mine. Deal? That's it for today's Real Talk with Rachel. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for videos about books and writing and more videos like this. Thanks for watching.